Satircally Yours, Season 1, Episode 24. Despite public outcry, North Carolina Police Chief Armighty defends officer involved in multiple baby decapitations at Franklin Nursery. Police Chief Armighty: Thank you all for coming today. To the families of the deceased, we want you to know we are with you. We understand your concerns, and we continue to hold you in our thoughts and prayers. It is because we value you so much that we have taken these past 3 months to investigate the horrible tragedy that stands before us. We have looked at the body cam footage and have logged many hours with witnesses of what has been termed the Franklin Nursery decapitation event. And we have come to a conclusion that this entire police force is ready to stand behind. The actions of Sargent Aggresseve were within the standard protocol, and he is cleared of all wrongdoing. At this point, the crowd erupts in boos and shouts from the audience, which includes the 5 families of what became known as the Decapitated 5. Some people were escorted out of the building by officers. Immediate, loud sobbing can be heard through the reception area. As the police chief was able to get a little order in the room, and despite the sobbing, he went on. Sargent Aggresseve went into the juvenile detention facility after calls had been made regarding the screaming that was occurring inside by multiple parties, which came in at 11:32 a.m. The participants were wearing typical gang colors of red and blue, and when Sargent Aggresseve entered the premises, he immediately began fearing for his life and survival. He ordered all of the adults on the ground immediately and issued orders for everyone in the room to fall silent. When the juveniles refused to comply with his request, he retrieved his pistol from his holster and issued a stance of maximum threat. He again ordered all persons in the room to be silent and to get face down. Some of the juveniles complied and others did not. It was at this point he realized that one of them had a figure with a gun on it. After 2 separate warnings, the screaming and disobedience continued. Sargent Aggresseve put defensive rounds into non-complying, potentially armed and dangerous juvenile suspects. As he approached multiple suspects, the screaming continued, and without the ability to subdue all of them simultaneously, as well as the fact that on tape multiple of the juveniles attempted to bite the officer, he was left with no choice but to decapitate them for his own safety. This is well within the rights of the police to protect our own members who put their lives on the line. The room was erupting. A SWAT team was brought in, and tear gas was sprayed, breaking up the press conference. Outside, family of the Decapitated 5 huddled together with a lone independent newspaper as the rest of the mainstream media had left. Baby Jarrell's aunt spoke to us. I just can't believe what they did. Those weren't non-complying, potentially armed and dangerous juvenile suspects. They were babies. Infants. The figure with a gun? That was a green army man, one boy brought from home to chew on while teething. Those gang colors that they were referring to were Captain America and Iron Man onesies. They can use whatever modified words they want, but they were just kids who were crying. They pose no threat to him. Of course they can't comply. They don't even speak or have the ability to roll over yet. That man walked into a nursery because of loud crying, which happens in a nursery, and literally went around the room shooting, killing, and decapitating babies. And the thin blue line stands behind him. How does this make any sense? We don't want to make this about race. No babies should be decapitated by police officers, or anyone for that matter. But why did he decide to decapitate only the black and Hispanic babies, and didn't try to shoot or assault the white ones? It's a fair question to ask. None of this makes any sense, and it's all so horrible. It's been noted that many in the community are calling for the resignation of all the officers involved, but none of the major media stations currently cover the story.